And then come through. Hi, everybody in the Now group. Now, I seem to be saying this every morning, but there are issues getting online. So I'm here today with Lisa, and we have migrated, we migrated over into Zoom, and Facebook doesn't want to speak to us today. So we are recording this as you are all there listening to us. And welcome to the 96th episode of It's All About You. And it's all about you, the members of Now, who I wouldn't be able to have this group if it wasn't for you guys, really. I'd be sitting here at home on my Todd, probably just experimenting, talking to myself, you know. But today, it's great. I'm here and I can talk to Lisa. So, Lisa, let's go over to you. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Lisa McQueenie from Turnstyle Mcqs. So I am an artist. I make driftwood art, sculptures, wall art, textured wall art, basically all from the treasures of the sea. So I collect it all and collect like sea glass, seashells, seaweed, and try to implement them within my art. And also it's very eco.
Yeah, but you've not always done that, have you? How did you come about to create such magnificent structures, because they're fabulous?
So my story really is to becoming a driftwood artist and using the materials was I suffered, I don't know if you could say that really, with what would class as mental health. I don't call it mental health, I call it a different name. I call it healing, but it's worse form back then. And so I would go to work and I was pretty in a bad state. I didn't have a car, pretty penniless. But I would go to work and would probably walk home from work about a good 4 or 5 miles along the beach. And I started realizing that it was healing me. Then I bumped into one day about 3 years ago, April 3 years ago, not good with maths, and literally bumped into the driftwood in like a little nook in the dunes. And I was like, I don't know why, but you know, like a kid gets excited when they get like sweeties and they've been that's the kind of excitement that I had. I was like jumping up and down. And I think because I was such a low ebb and I really haven't got the best of educations, didn't have the best of educations, always searching to know what I was good at, but never really came to me. So bumping into this driftwood has completely changed my life. And so I started picking it up there and then. And then every single time I'd go to work, and sometimes I'd go to work early in the morning to walk to work.
Wow.
And picking some up. And then doing the same again on the way back. And then I'd end up like Crackerjack, you know, the old Crackerjack game show for kids, like lifting it all and carrying it all, yeah? And I'd end up like Crackerjack picking it up and everything. And it got a bit addictive, and I've got shed loads everywhere, of course. But I think for me, it's not just about the art. It is about the healing aspect as well, because it's been my saviour. I think because like there's so much positivity from the beach, you know, the sea air, the waves that is therapeutic to your brain waves, calming, it's relaxing. And then the barefoot grounding. Obviously, I've not been doing it through the winter because it's a little bit bracing. But now's the time for ground. And you don't have to do grounding just on sand, although it's, you know, the best option, because especially when it's wet, you can do it on grass. You know, when you think about it, it's like, we're not supposed to wear shoes. We are. Or, you know, we are a tree if you look at it. You know, you've got your spine, you've got your nerve endings coming out. So why wouldn't it be that we need to be charged, you know, by nature's own?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you mean by barefoot grounding.
Yeah. And it's funny, you know, because I've done a little bit of research. I can't remember, you know, the technicalities of it, you know, the right terminology. But I remember when I researched about barefoot grounding, there was a lady who had, I mean, because they'll always say there's no scientific proof, of course. But there are research where certain lady who had MS, she literally couldn't get out of a wheelchair. And I think they trialled her for 2 weeks, barefoot grounding, in a wheelchair, going outside in a garden with her feet to the ground. And they realised even just after a day that it was improving her somewhat. But then they took it one step further. It sounds really weird. They took it one step further and got her to lay on the grass for a month.
Oh my.
And she literally went from being a total cripple in a wheelchair to being able to walk. And she just does that as a statutory thing now.
My goodness.
It's powerful. But I guess it's like anything. You know, we've been so brainwashed into thinking that these things, no, it can't possibly help. But it was here before anything else was available.
Absolutely.
And it's free. And it's free. And it's enjoyable.
It is exceptionally enjoyable, yes. I mean, I do tend to sometimes go out into my garden. I've seen me out there on a frozen morning or a frozen night and bare feet and stamping like a seagull to sort of push up the energies and for, you know, the negative energies to be thrown into the earth, because I know I feel better. It is.
It absolutely does. I think in order to feel the benefits, though, it really needs to be done, you know, for a good 20 minutes or so each day.
Right.
And I was going to say, well, you could actually intensify that, as you know, by doing, you know, centering in your heart, you know, doing your whole chakras all the way down, going to Gaia, you know where I'm going with this yourself. And you can actually take it that one step further. And that is really quite powerful when you do the two together. For everybody who's quite a spiritual person, obviously, because I am, they'll understand that element of it, and it's even more powerful when you do that. So yeah, so it's kind of, I've made it into now where it's not work. It's a balance. It's both. It's a lifestyle, and that's why I love it. It's a complete lifestyle. So you get your exercise, you get your health, and you get, you know, all your natural materials from the beach at the same time. I actually can't go on a beach without collecting something, though. It's rather annoying.
I can see you there, and I can see you like crackerjack, absolutely. But you also, I mean, some of the work that I've seen in your videos, I mean, you get out a chainsaw, don't you, and all other stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's a funny story here I'll tell you very briefly, because I know we're on a time scale, but I did the WI last year. Was it last year? Last February. I asked a year in advance, and I was there in front of 80 people. Actually, my husband, as you know, was seriously ill at the time, and it was like one of them, do a stay at home, do a go. But I promised him, and I was like, this is really hard. Anyway, I went, and I didn't get a circular saw out or anything else, but I just took a near saw because I thought, imagine the noise, 80 people. So I thought, I'll just take a saw. And I only did this one thing because I tried to narrow it down the best way I could. The voices in the room was like, oh, I thought I was chopping a leg off.
Oh, fabulous.
I was like, if you think that's bad, you should come to my house and see me with circular saw.
Well, it's not actually what you expect at a WI meeting. I think I have to say that.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so it's quite, I've had loads of great opportunities, really, and they've all come quite well. You know, I was asked to do blow my own trumpet a little bit now. I got asked by this lady in a network very similar to yours, you know, for business and everything else. And she was absolutely, and I'll always love her. She's just a typical like-for-like person. She's just beautiful, very loving, and very supportive of the community within Blackpool. She doesn't work there now, sadly, but it was called Toyland, a big toy shop in Blackpool. And she asked me for 4 weeks, because everyone had us into 4 weeks, to go in there and do a window display. So I went in there, this is about 2 years ago, and did a massive window display, one side of the window, but it was still pretty big, and put everything. I did like a Blackpool Tower, I did an air balloon, sunshine, rainbow, clouds, and all my stuff in like a seaside scene. in there. It was way above, like the trend's only just coming in now for that, weirdly, but it was above its time. And I had all my driftwood and that in there. And then loads of opportunities kind of spun off. I did, I got asked by this gentleman to enter this competition. It was a bit dubious, but anyway, I did. This is about 2 years ago as well. And I managed to win, like the first. Last year, managed to win. This year, not quite the first. Someone just picked me to the post. But I have to say, the one who picked me to the post deserved it, because it was amazing. It was very similar to mine this year with a head, as you can see.
Yeah.
But it was more flat and carved, so it was quite good. But yeah, and I remember this artist once said to me 2 years ago, I'll never forget. He said to me, I went in his shop, as I did. I just went in people's shops and said, would you display my artwork? Blah, blah, blah. Just went in. You can't say no, but I'd push it a little bit. And he went, no, but he said, I like your sculptures. He said, you know, artists. And do you know what? My husband weren't too happy. And do you know what? It actually didn't annoy me. I was like, for a split second, I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. I went, it's organic. It's all organic. Because he actually went, it's awful. He went, it's awful. And I was just like, but it's organic. It's natural. How can you say it's awful when it's natural? Anyway, this is opinion. That's fair enough. And so kind of kept that on board. And I thought, do you know what? Someone was telling me to just keep doing it. Doing the art aspect, not just the sculpture, but the art. So then when I entered Linda Eaton, November of last year, I didn't just enter the sculpture, I entered the art, and I won the art as well. Second place, but it just goes to show, the point I'm making is, if someone tells you not to do it, it's even more reason why to do it. Because that's just someone's opinion. And it's usually so way off the mark. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a curveball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's a case of, that is what you should do.
Yes. Yes. And what you could have done, you know, which not many people do go and do when somebody gives them some negative feedback, they'll just go into a corner and say, okay, I'm useless, I can't do this. But what you're saying is, get out there, put the shoulders back. You can do it. It's a challenge. If somebody says that to you.
It was a challenge, yes, definitely, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking, it's really funny. Yeah, I just think like how far I've come really from being like, you know, this withered up woman who suffered with depression. I think the worst point of time in my depression was not even going out the house. You know, not going out the house, not listening, you know, turning the phone off the hook, closing the curtains, to where I am now, like doing lives, more recent, as you know. I thought I'd really struggle with it, and you know what? It's turning out really well because I'm just being me.
Fabulous.
I'm just being me.
Yeah. And that's what's so wonderful, because your personality has come out in these videos, and you know, it's not scripted. It's obvious it's not scripted, and that's fabulous. You know,
It's never scripted. In fact, you know what? I'm so comfortable doing the lives. I don't know if you've seen any on my page. I know you're a busy lady, but I'm that comfortable. I'm singing and I don't realise I'm singing. you know, like you do. You know, like you do your housework or something like that, and you're singing, and you're like, just there we go. I don't even realise I'm doing it.
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. It's wonderful. I mean, we've been friends for a few years, but never actually got around talking.
No, we haven't. It's been
great.
a joy. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You need to be seen. Your work is just unreal. And your personality is enough to lift people up as well.
Yes.
So it's my pleasure. So tell me, what day of the week do you find is your most energetic day?
I don't particularly, as I said to you briefly before we aired, I don't particularly have a day where I can say, right, I get that done. Because every day is different, and I've took on a few more jobs to help, you know, with the the present situation we're in. So I'm learning a lot, and I am a bit overwhelmed at the moment. So I have started instigating a bit of structure into my life, where I have sit down at night, do a DMO, which is a daily, go on, you tell me, I always forget, daily mode of operation.
Okay.
And yeah, it's great, but you know what, I actually hate that aspect of it, because I just want to play.
No.
I want to play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew it was coming. I knew I needed the structure and the discipline.
I know it is boring to do that. I just had this conversation just earlier before talking to you about doing that, and I said to who I was speaking to, I said, is there an app that I can do this with? You know, because I love playing with technology. I'd rather sit with an app, you know, which is what I'm going to have to do, but I want a pretty app. Yeah, GMOs are no fun, but I think you and I we should maybe collaborate and bring up a bit.
Yeah.
You done your DMO. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to do it now.
Do you know what though? Funny you should say that. I used to do cleaning. Well, I still got one cleaning job on, actually, weirdly. But I used to do cleaning, my own cleaning business, and I used to work for this gentleman, and he was like in his 90s. I can't say too much because he is like a known person, but he was writing a book, but to save time, he would use this Dragon something or other. It was a program that you could actually go in a microphone where you actually say what you need to say. So bearing in mind he was writing a book, so you can actually voice it in a microphone, and the computer picks it up and writes it for you. If they came up with something like that, that'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? You just voice it, and it's like there. Like, you know, a bit like an Alexis, if you will.
Yes, and do that.
I'm sure there's something like that. I'm sure there must be.
You have actually, you've reminded me of that, because I did used to use it. And do you know what I use now for writing comments on Facebook? It's actually on my phone. I never thought about using that for doing it.
Yeah, well worth it, isn't it? It saves a heck of a lot of time.
Oh yeah. And when you're writing comments, you can actually write as if you're speaking them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound.
Yeah, we've come on to something here, haven't we?
Yeah.
It saves so much time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
My brain's going now.
So are we going to put that on our to-do list tonight? That we're going to and create
a microphone. Come on, Mr. Zuckerberg, a microphone that attaches to the actual comments box. So you still have to click on the comments box, but you just say it.
Yeah.
And it's there. As long as you don't particularly like something and then you cock up and say something totally wrong. Not that you would anyway. I don't have anyone I don't like anyway.
No, because my phone has got that. It's the first one I've ever able to text, speech to text. But you do have to go back in and check, because my God, you can get into trouble if you don't.
Well, it can end up a bit like that language out of Star Trek, can't it? What they call it? Can't think what they call it now. Like a totally different language of its own, light language.
Oh, like Klingon.
That's the one.
Yes.
I'm not a big Star Wars fan, obviously.
Oh, I love it.
Star Trek fan.
I love those things. Right. Well, do you know, Lisa, I'm supposed to keep these for 15 minutes, and I thought when I first started at the very beginning, by the end, I'll have it off patch, 15 minutes. We're almost on to 18, because it's such fun talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for asking me. And it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you for like 2 years online. First time we've spoke and seen each other.
No, it is. And there was me up half the night worried about you that day. You were in your car. And it was...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? I actually back then felt your energy, and I felt really guilty thinking that I actually know you were worried about me, because I could feel your energy even back then. I could feel it, because I thought you were genuinely worried about me, like -3. I don't think we'll be doing that again in a hurry, but we need to tell the tale.
Please don't do that. I'll send you love next time if you do, though. All right, darling. I'm going to
Thank you very much, sweetheart. Thanks ever so much, darling.
Goodbye to everybody in the Now group, and we'll catch you again sometime. So bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.